Hello everyone, I'm back for another review, this time on Digimon Xros Wars Greymon. As you can see, he's pretty decent sized. His box is a whole lot bigger than the other boxes that the Xros Wars figures come in. It shows him on the side with his mouth open and Metal Greymon. On top, it shows an enlarged version of him in full color. He comes with a Leviathan Digimemory, which I happen to have just for you, right here. It's not very impressive, but it works decently well on the crossloader. On the side, it shows some other Digimon you can get: Shoutamon, Ballistamon, Darullamon, and Male Birdramon, which I all have. Also, on the back, it shows him crossing with Male Birdramon to form Metal Greymon, and the crossloader with the Digimemory, and him doing stuff, just being there. Okay, that's the box. And this is the guy that came in it. He's about the same size as he is on the box, and he fits pretty well in it. I mean, he's a good size. They could have squeezed him in there a bit better by compressing him, but other than that, he looks pretty impressive. And he is yet another Greymon. There are quite a few Greymons in Digimon, and I'm going to go show off my other Greymons just so I can compare them. This was the first Greymon from Digimon Adventure, and they're about the same size, only this guy doesn't transform. But they both turn into Metal Greymon, so it's like, okay, let's recycle our characters. Also, an interesting point about them, this Greymon happens to have a headpiece on him. This one doesn't, and what's really interesting is they flip the colors. Orange stripes, blue body, orange body. And the colors complement each other well, so I think that's a good combination. And the only other difference I can really see is the toenails and his claws are like white in this version and blue in this one. And they both have their mouths open and stuff like that. Alternative version would be the shiny version, and he's shown off in another video, so I'm going to go ahead and get my Greymons out of here. Another Greymon would be this guy, and it's Geo Greymon, and this is the small version that transforms into an Agumon. But I thought I'd show him off anyway, as there are just so many Greymon figures. And then there's the Geo Greymon that turns into Rise Greymon, and these two are very similar. But this guy has stripes on his head and wrist things, which is different because none of the other Greymons have that. And he turns into Rise Greymon. And like the other Greymons, his mouth opens, but not very well. So enough of the random Greymons. Let's move on to this one. He's pretty flexible. He can do lots of stuff. Okay, not really. He's a pretty basic figure. He doesn't really do that much, and he doesn't really combine. That's the only Greymon figure that came with it other than the Digimemory, so he's kind of alone in that respect. He's just there. He can pose pretty well, I suppose. His tail bends mostly so he can combine with Male Birdramon, so he can go up. It can't really go down very well, but it can go up. So you mostly just leave it like that. It has that tip at the end, which I suppose he smashes into enemies every once in a while. And his mouth opens. These things are made of rubber, so you need to be careful about them. And his mouth will open if you're really careful, like that, showing off his teeth and his tongue thing. I'm not really 100% sure, but at any rate, he looks slightly better with his mouth open or shut. I prefer it shut just because it's like that, but it looks cool on the box open. His arms are decently posable. His wrists don't turn. He can bring them up. He can bring them down. He can bring them really far up. Okay, not really. And they're capable of rotating up to a certain point, or rather back to a certain point. They don't really go back further than that. They're kind of stuck. They don't go back any further. But they can go up that far, so what gives? At any rate, that's what the arms do, that's what the tail does. The head can go up a little bit, down a little bit, but mostly stays like this. His posture is different from the other Greymons in the sense that he's like kind of flat. His body is parallel with the ground. His legs, they can go out, but that's about it. His ankles don't adjust, so having him like that is pretty much pointless. Also, his legs bend in a variety of ways. His ankles go forward and back. Okay, not very well, though. Like, they give you some flexibility with the legs, but it's really not going to go very far. So it's kind of best to just keep him like this. I mean, you could bend his legs like that, but his legs are just awkward in that sense. He has this thing on his back, but that's for transformation purposes, and he looks about the same all the way around, except he has screws on this side, and it says Made in China. It's a Japanese version that's made in China, so everything in America is made in China, and apparently with the toys, everything in Japan is also made in China. I find that disturbing, but there's a higher quality of Chinese toys in Japan than there is in the US. I don't know why, but maybe we're being shortchanged here. At any rate, this is the Xros Wars Greymon figure. He is of blue flare, and he combines with Male Bird Dramon, Decker Greymon, and Cyber Dramon, which I'm not going to show right now because this is mostly about Greymon. His transformation into Metal Greymon will be shown in Male Bird Dramon's video, but other than that, this is Greymon, and he's pretty pointless having him without another figure. So if you're going to get him, get Male Bird Dramon, otherwise you can't really combine him with the rest. So this is Ultimate X Exe. Subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Get Male Bird Dramon if you're going to get this guy, and see you later.